You're so pretty to be black. You know, I could never be brave enough to wear my hair like that. You know, you're the smartest of your kind that I've seen in a while. You know, you're very articulate. One of the questions that came up for In My Black Feelings this week was, how do you deal with the isms in the workplace and the way that they show up? That is what we're going to be talking about today. But first, hey sunshine, I'm Dr. Donna Oriolo, sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, helping black women feel free, fabulous, and effed. Now, where it comes right down to it, I like to give 3 tips, just 3, on how to deal with isms in the workplace. Now, here's the thing. Isms do happen in the workplace regardless of who you are, right? Somebody at some point thinks it's okay to say some of the things that they're going to say. So whether or not you're dealing with racism, sexism, colorism, texturism, if you're dealing with ableism, if you're dealing with heterosexism, this video is certainly for you. So I figure that there are about 3 levels on dealing with relations in the workplace. Now, mind you, you're going to find the one that actually works for you, and these are only suggestions. This does not encompass the full breadth and depth of what you could be saying, nor am I there at work with you, which means I don't see how these folks are coming off and what they are doing. You are the only one with that knowledge. You are the only one that knows what is going on, and I can only give suggestions. So take these just as that, suggestions. Take these as another thing to consider, a view out my window, if you will. So I figure, and I have personally used 3 particular levels where it comes to dealing with these type of workplace shenanigans. Shenanigans definitely sort of undercuts the feeling of what it is. So, and that is not my intention. My intention is to let you know that I know that this is some bullshit. Yes, that is it. So here are 3 ways to deal with workplace bullshit. Now, you could do this on 3 levels. Level 1, be a tour guide. Level 2, come with Confucian. And level 3, check it. So let's start with level 1. Level 1 is be a tour guide. So where it comes to being a tour guide, we are doing an each one teach one moment. As in, turn these things into learnable moments. Teach them. Tell them, hey, this thing that you said is not okay, and here's why. This is going to depend entirely on your comfort level, the relationship you have with the person who is saying whatever fuckery they are saying, and quite frankly, whatever resources you have. So resources, I do mean time. I do mean whether or not you feel good enough to be having this conversation, if you're in the mental, emotional space, and whether or not you've been getting irked all day with shit that people been saying. So if you want to be a tour guide, then that means that you are going to teach them to your comfort level what you feel that they need to know in order to better interact with you in the future. Now, I have been a tour guide. You know, sometimes I like to pull people to the side and I'm just like, hey, that thing that you said, it is racist, sexist, whatever it is, I tell them like, hey, this is the thing that you said. This is how the thing comes off. I'm not sure what you intended, but I wanted to make sure that you knew. Now, that is if I just want to inform you. We're not having a conversation. Now, if I want to have a conversation with you, I'm going to ask, hey, this thing that you said on this post or in this space, what did you mean? What you mean? What I am saying is basically you can have an intent impact conversation. You tell them, you ask them about their intention, but you also tell them about their impact. And maybe give them a few resources that they can go to learn a little bit more and maybe have better relations with not just you, but other people at work. That's 1. 2 is come with Confucian. People be saying fucked up, slick shit out their mouths all the daggone time. And the problem is, we know, and they know that we know that it is problematic. But instead of sometimes calling it, we're tired already. Understood. But you can always come with confusion if you are not trying to get into fights in the workplace, because, you know, I don't know about you, but people be out here trying to keep their jobs. So, coming with confusion, you simply ask, what do you mean? And come with sincere as possible, curiosity. You want them to think about the thing that they said. That is the purpose of coming with confusion. To get them to think about what they said, to understand what they said, and to understand that whatever impact they thought it was going to have fell flat. Right? So we need them to know this, and that means becoming a what do you mean queen. Just, This way they have to explain the joke that they said or whatever sort of comment that they said, and they will hopefully be able to see its own roots in whatever ism it is that they have already decided to throw you away. Now, with this one, again, that intent impact conversation can certainly come back into play, because the intent impact conversation is good at all levels. It really is. So what's the intention behind that? Like, no, I don't know what you mean. Can you explain it? Right? And sometimes you can have a little attitude when you say it. Explain it to me like I'm 5. I don't think I understand. But basically, you want people to get into the space of understanding that you are not going to tolerate that type of interaction with that. You just not doing it. That you're not doing it today, you're not doing it tomorrow, and you're not doing it the next day. Basically, you're telling them that you're not the 1, the 2, or the motherfucking 3. Now, where it comes to the third one, check it. As a matter of fact, let me stop before we get into it. Recapping. Number 1 was be a tour guide, right? You are doing an each one, teach one moment. Number 2 is coming with confusion so that they have to explain it and maybe they can see it themselves, the thing that they said that was inappropriate. Now, when we get to here, number 3, we're talking about check that. We want to check it. As in, you are going to check the bylaws of your job, you're going to check the laws of the state and even the county that you work in, and then you are going to make shit acutely uncomfortable. What do I mean? What I mean is that sometimes you may still need to be a tour guide, even a minute tour guide, like, hey, that thing that you said is racist, sexist, whatever, you just taught them. Now, it's up to them to do additional research. Coming with confusion, what do you mean? You may need to ask that question so that they can clarify their point, clarify their stance, and you can also clarify yours. But where it comes to checking that, we're doing numbers 1 and 2, but we're also saying, hey, you know that's against the code? You know that's against the company bylaws? Do you know that's against the law for you to be making that type of comment about my appearance or my sex, my gender, my relationship status, my sexuality? You can't make that comment. Whatever the thing is, letting them know that's not okay and that you're not going to tolerate it. But beyond just doing that, right, because I believe in CYA, cover your ass. As in, if you have a conversation face to face, follow up with an email. Include a supervisor. This is what I mean by making people acutely uncomfortable. Because the thing is, our silence sometimes reads as agreement. When we are silent, Zora Neale Hurston had this quote, and I cannot remember it in this moment, but it's just like, if you're silent about your pain, they will kill you and say you enjoyed it. We're not doing it. No, we're not doing it today, and we're not going to do it tomorrow either. Which means that instead, we are actually going to make everybody uncomfortable. Because here's the thing. They're getting peace at your expense. And you are the only one that can choose what it is. But I know that for me and mine, it'd be too damn expensive. As in, I can't afford to keep letting you play in my face the way that you play in my face. You better play in these streets because it ain't safe over here. Right? So I'm saying check it. Make it uncomfortable. You're making it uncomfortable by calling it in the moment, asking people what they mean. If they're bold enough to say it in front of everybody, be bold. Go ahead and make them uncomfortable in front of everybody. That's one. But also email, report it. A supervisor should know that this person is making you feel uncomfortable. Now, if your supervisor is the one doing it, you might need to go over their heads. But the point is this. Bring it to a supervisor, bring it to HR, and if need be, take it to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. If it's still standing. I have no idea what Trump and his ilk are doing. So I'm saying that there are multiple ways for you to deal with what is going on in the workplace, and know this, you don't have to deal with it. Now, these are the 3 things that I brought into that space, and then I sat in it some more, and I was thinking, okay, so you do all of this. Some of it will work, some of it won't work, right? Because it's all depending on how people will receive the thing that you're saying. You know the people at your job best. Then it becomes, okay, what if it keeps going? If it keeps going, if you are able, if you are willing, might I suggest looking for another job? Part of the reason that I add this as an additional thing is because you deserve to feel comfortable at your workplace. You deserve to be heard at your workplace. You don't deserve to be made uncomfortable every time that you are present. That's not okay. And you get to say that that is not okay and ask people to treat you differently or otherwise find somewhere else to be. And I do also understand that sometimes people try to make you acutely uncomfortable to get you to leave. So if you don't want to leave, then don't. But I just want to make sure that you also know that you could go. That you could use the time to find another job that is going to appreciate the you that you are without you having to dim your light so that mediocre people can shine. I'm just saying. So my question to you is, how do you deal with workplace isms? Be a dear, please share it in the comments because somebody wants to know, right? So remember, discourse, not disrespect. Keep it cute in the comments. All right, bye.